From the banks of the Allegheny, welcome to Film Bits. Hey everybody, True Detective Season 1, Episode 2, Part 3. 1, 2, 3. Pardon me. The episode is called Seeing Things, and based on how the last episode ended, we can see that Rust is seeing some things due to 4 years of undercover work on the narcotics division and lots of on-the-job hazards, I guess we could call it. One thing I wanted to say before we jump into this episode is, after seeing Marty cheating on his wife last episode, we can see the real juxtaposition and dichotomy of Rust and Marty as characters. Marty is a guy who wants to maintain normalcy. He wants to project that image of a good, solid cop. Nothing flashy, but does his work. 2 kids, a wife, everything's happy, everything's good. And he uses, as a justification method to himself, this idea of seeking release, needing to let some of the steam off of the steamer so that you can continue to have that normal relationship. And that's his cheating. Secondly, we have Rust, who says, in the modern day Rust, says, hey, it's taken me a while, but I know exactly who I am. He's not proud of it. He used to be a better man, and now he isn't, but he accepts those faults. He accepts those falls and owns them. So Rust, no trace of the hypocritical, at least thus far into the series. And Marty, we see little veins of hypocrisy starting to creep in to his relationships with both his wife and family and with Rust. So conflicts, we already have noticed conflicts between these two guys, but now we see that these conflicts resonate to their core, and we'll see how they can try and get a job done while getting in the way of these conflicts. And we know that at one point these conflicts boiled over because they wound up splitting and not talking to one another. All right, let's pick it up with this new part 3, Seeing Things. That's Rust pulling into a rundown motel, and we should recognize this girl that's going to come into frame here. I love this shot with the cheesy, kind of seedy lights reflecting in the window. That's the prostitute from the truck stop that we saw in episode 1. Another really nice shot there.
Quaaludes.
Love that shot.
Downers?
Dopey stuff.
Oh.
How's it run?
I'm thinking we'll go for 3 a pill.
Yeah, we'll say 200 for the bottle.
Notice the decorations of the room, like of a little girl interrupted. She is a prostitute, still very young, but she has the pink dresser. She's got stuffed animals. There are these hints of this girl who's probably not leading the life she had wanted to.
Thought you might just take him. Now you wanted something else. Some kind of something else.
No.
Rush showing his ethics there. Could take advantage, but doesn't.
And I was thinking you're a good-looking man. You wouldn't need a shakedown to get some.
What about rough trade? Scary guys. You girls talk.
Around here they're rough. Or whiskey.
Notice a lot of the internals we've talked about have been very kind of dim and dingy. Here we are in a dim and dingy place in this seedy motel room, but there's a brightness to this room. There's a lightness to it with the pinks and the trappings of the female, the decor of the female, the lamps on. It's a very interesting choice. And we also saw those light reflections within the darkness of the window. I think we can argue that there's something symbolic here in the set design that's also being reflected in our main character, Russ. And we will have to kind of slowly dig into that as we go through the series. We're like on an archaeological dig. We can't dig out huge chunks of dirt, just a little bit at a time, get those brushes out, reveal a little. That's how we're going to do this.
A whiskey lamp. Seen plenty of guys that get touchy, something sets them off, and they're like little boys. People always go away around here.
Where would I look? Working girls might know the blonde.
If she was gaming
It's
on
night.
10 Southside,
Rush should be
heard of this
off.
place. Kind of
His
trailer
day's work
park.
is done,
Girls work, stay.
but he's still going.
Call it the ranch.
Where's that?
Like south
at his
of
eyes.
Spanish Lake, supposed to be.
Obsessed,
You know the place?
going nonstop.
What's your deal?
I don't have a deal.
I mean, what do you do?
Great
Never
line
mind.
coming up here.
I thought you were gonna bust me.
I told you I'm not interested.
Yeah, I know. Kind of strange. Like you might be dangerous.
Well, of course I'm dangerous. I'm police. I can do terrible things to people
Yikes.
with impunity.
Okay, also, as he's saying that, we get the high angle shot too to sort of emphasize. We don't even need the reaction shot back at the girl. We know that she already thinks he's strange and dangerous. I'm police. I can do horrible things without impunity. God, I love this character. As we're cutting back here, we're seeing the aftermath of the Marty tryst with the court stenographer, legal, paralegal, whatever she is. Let's pick that up.
What would you do last night? I called up here late.
What were you doing?
Working. I was thinking about dropping by. Where were you?
I was out with girlfriends.
Uh-huh. Well, I don't like that.
What, you're jealous?
Don't be stupid. I just mean that there's a crazy man out there. And, he's killing women.
What, you mean that girl again? That satanic thing? Everyone's still talking about that at the courthouse.
It's not just her. There's more.
There's more? Really?
Well, we're not saying keeping it out of the press, but we're thinking that he's been doing this a while.
Wow.
Good old Marty,
So, no need
keeping
to
secrets
go out.
that he should be keeping.
have a
Spread them
drink
to his
here.
little
I can't meet a nice man
Side
at
piece.
home.
That hurts me. When you speak to me in a passive-aggressive way, I always talk straight to you.
Excuse me. I meant that since you're married, I need to be considering my options as a young woman. I want things, Marty.
I want things too.
Yeah, you just want your cake and to eat it too.
How good is cake if you can't eat it?
Like the lighting to start the scene. We're at the barracks in the bathroom. Pay close attention in here. Listen closely to the dialogue between these two guys.
Yeah, I think I might have found something good. Bunny Ranch down south, on Spanish Lake.
I thought we were pulling old John's today.
Yeah, we should do this first.
What?
You wash up, you got some pussy on you.
Key to a healthy marriage.
Oh, that's Maggie, huh?
Hey, what's with your fucking nose?
Nothing, man. Sorry, forget it.
I get a connotation being implied here about my wife.
Are you saying that's wife? That high tide you walking in with?
You got some idea how my wife's pussy's supposed to smell?
No, I just meant you wearing the same clothes as you did yesterday. Coupled with the fact that I ain't stupid. Wasn't making no comment as to the particularity of the sin.
You don't say fuck all about my wife. don't say her name.
You got some self-loathing to do this morning, that's fine. But it ain't worth losing your hands over.
How would that work exactly?
Well, I'd just apply a couple pounds of pressure. Snap your wrist. You're senior detective. Think of mine.
What a great scene. So, as Rust himself said, I'm not a dummy. He saw, and we saw it in a shot in the last episode, he saw that girl come to the barracks. He can tell Marty's in the same clothes as yesterday. He can detect a certain aroma and is trying to give Marty some advice. Marty does not like the fact that he's been found out, particularly by this guy he barely knows, who's also his partner, and he gets a little upset. Rust, always in control. Notice how that emotional pitch never wavers, right? You got some self-loathing to do today. That's a great line. And then tells him that, that's fine, but it's not worth losing your wrists over. Marty, of course, being all full of vim and vigor, says, how's that? How are you going to hurt my wrists? He says, well, you're the lead detective. Am I lying? After he explains how he's going to hurt him. So now we get to add this to the mix of conflict in these two guys' growing relationship. Great scene. Pick it up. Nice little touch here too. Pulse check. And then, again, the dinginess, the oldness, the desolation of where they are down in the bayou. Checking on leads, trying to find some connections. Place as character. I'll talk more about that next episode. Place as character.
You got a specific location for this place, or are we just gonna wander around till we find it?
I got some names. I'm gonna have to ask for directions.
Maybe you could just follow your nose. Wherever he picked him up, I mean, I won't lie. However we left it, he had some moves. He knew a few CIs from his narco days. They knew these parts. Put us in touch with some names, people to talk to.
How we doing, boys?
Hey, hello.
We, looking for a little bunny ranch down around these parts, y'all. Know where we could find it?
No, sir.
Never heard about it? Little whorehouse?
Sorry, man.
Supposed to be stuck up in the woods around here?
I'll tell you this. Russ had about as sharp an eye for weakness.
We're going to pause it here. Okay. So now we're picking it up. Things have intensified. We're starting to see some things. It's going to get good come the beginning of the next part to this episode. I hope you're on for this ride, man. There's a lot going on in that first episode. It takes a lot to kind of, it takes some seeds to be scattered before I can start really digging in, because this is a protracted thing. It's not a 2-hour movie. It's a 8-9 hour show. So it takes some breathing has to occur before I can get in there and really get after it. So, we will see you next time. I hope you're starting to dig it. If you haven't dug it, I hope you've been here for all 10 or whatever parts it is by now for the first 2 episodes. And I appreciate any and all time you've given me. Take care. We'll see you at the next one.